Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS MLB Friday. We got 16 games on the board. I'm going through Rangers Braves in this one, but we'll go through every single game on the live show, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Me, Toast, Prop Beaver, and Kamish. So all four of us, we're going through 16 games. That's 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. This has not been a great MLB week for me. I actually started the week off 3 straight losing days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I got off to a killer start this baseball season. Got hit with some hard regression. I'm recording this on Thursday. I am 1-0 to start today, so I have the D-backs first 5 later. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, that hit and my losing streak ended, but we'll see. Like I said, Rangers, Braves, let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, Texas on the road in Atlanta. We got the Braves as minus 200 favorites. Total sitting at 9.5. We got Andrew Heeney pitching for Texas. Chris Sale on the mound for Atlanta. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we got a huge lean on Atlanta here, both in the first 5 and the full game. We're talking 3.8 to 1.3 after 5 innings, 6.2 to 3.3 after 9. So let's start with the matchup for Chris Sale against the Texas offense. Really not much historic data we can use here. He hasn't pitched against Texas since 2021. The current Texas Rangers lineup has just 28 career plate appearances against them, and 17 of those belong to Simeon. So really not much to go by. I will say he's been dominant against Texas over the course of his career. In his last 7 games against the Rangers, he's 5-0 with an 0.74 ERA and an 0.75 WHIP. So absolutely dominant numbers against the Rangers. But like I said, he hasn't pitched against them since 2021. So we got to ask, how has Chris Sale looked as a member of the Atlanta Braves? Through 3 starts, he's got a 4.58 ERA, which isn't great, but he's got a 1.13 WHIP, which is solid, and his expected FIP is 2.92. So these numbers are indicating that he's been pretty unlucky to have that high ERA, and those numbers theoretically should come down. And good news for Chris Sale, he's pitching against the 2024 Rangers, because the 2023 Rangers were certified lefty killers. Last year, Texas was 5th in WRC+, 9th in isolated power, 2nd in on-base percentage against lefties. This year, it's been the complete opposite. Against lefties so far this season, 23rd, 26th, and 22nd, the Rangers. They've seen 5 lefty starters so far this year, and those 5 guys combined for 25 in the 3rd innings pitch, a 2.49 ERA, and a 1.18 WHIP. So lefty starters have had no problem pitching against Texas. Now, 2 of those lefties that the Rangers have seen, Tariq Skubal and Justin Steele, I mean, that's some brutal competition. We'll give him a pass for those. But 2 of the games were against J.P. Sears and Alex Wood at home. So inexcusable to not produce in those situations. And things don't get any better for the Rangers when you look at Chris Sale's pitch mix. He basically only uses 2 pitches, the 4-seam fastball and the slider. Texas against those 2 pitches from lefties so far this year, 28th in on-base percentage, 29th in isolated power, 27th in run value, 29th in barrel percentage. And we're catching Texas on the road coming off a super high-scoring game against the Tigers yesterday. This might be a decent spot to sell high and fade the Rangers' bats. I think Sale might deal. The other matchup is Andrew Heeney against Atlanta's offense. Small sample size, only 36 career plate appearances from the Braves bats, from the current Braves bats against Heeney. They have an 813 lifetime OPS and a 333 average. So 36 plate appearances isn't much to go by, but the plate appearances they do have been successful against Heeney. Andrew Heeney has only pitched against the Braves once in his career, and it was back in 2021 as a member of the New York Yankees. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 earned runs. I mean, this was 3 years ago, so who cares anyway? He's definitely off to a really rough start to this season. 6.75 ERA and a 1.58 WHIP. 6.28 expected FIP, indicating he hasn't even had bad luck. He's just really getting hit up. But to be fair to Andrew Heeney, he started the season off on the road in Tampa, which has been one of the toughest places for a lefty starter to go on the road and pitch the last couple of years. And then he followed it up with back-to-back starts against the Houston Astros, another lineup that's been steadily top 5 against lefties the last few years. So I know Andrew Heaney's numbers to start the year are pretty disgusting, but at Tampa, then Houston twice, most lefty starters are going to have some ugly-looking numbers if they start their season off with that schedule. Now, I know you're thinking, well, Kyle, he's about to make a road start in Atlanta, so it's not going to get any better for him. And yeah, you're right about that. But I will say this isn't the 2023 Braves. Last year, the Braves were the best lineup in baseball against lefties. First in WRC+, first in isolated power, first in on-base percentage. This year, still a good lineup against lefties, but not quite on the same level. 10th, 9th, and 12th to start the season. The 6 lefties to start against the Braves this year combined for a 4.45 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP. It's really not that bad. So the Braves haven't been off to the slaughtering start against lefties this year that they were doing last year. Here's the bad news for Heeney, though. Atlanta does seem to be heating up a bit. They started off the season against Suarez and Crochet. That's the first 2 lefties they saw. The last 4 they saw since then, 5.31 ERA and a 1.57 WHIP. So maybe the Braves got off to a slow start and are now finding their groove. But I will say the Braves missing Albies from their lineup is huge here. Not only has he been red hot to start the season with a 143 WRC+, but he's also second on the team in WRC+ against left-handed pitching since 2021. He's a known lefty killer, and he's out for this game. And also, when you look at Andrew Heaney's pitch mix, he throws the four-seam fastball on 63.3% of his pitches. So he relies heavily on the fastball. And if you look at the Braves' numbers against fastballs, it looks pretty solid. But if you split it up by handedness, against four-seam fastballs from righties, the Braves are 5th, 6th, and 4th. Lefties, 19th, 22nd, 25th. And his second most frequently used pitch is the slider. The Braves are just 18th against sliders. So I know everyone's going to see this matchup and they're thinking Braves versus Rangers, Chris Sale versus Andrew Heeney. They're expecting a ton of runs. It's probably why they're giving us the first 5 total at 5.5. I already bet the under here. I like the first 5 under 5.5. Now, when we look at the bullpen battle, not only has Atlanta's bullpen just been better than Texas so far, 13th in ERA to 23rd, expected FIP 11th to 17th. So it's not a complete mismatch, but the Braves have been the better bullpen, but they're also better rested. I mean, Atlanta just had a day off, and Leclerc just pitched. Kirby Yates have pitched 3 of the last 4 days. He's not going to be available. So the Braves bullpen is better and better rested. No way I like the Rangers in the second half of the game, but in the first half, I think it'll be low scoring. I think they'll keep it close. So I'm going first 5 under, and I think the Braves end up winning here, but I'm not going to bet them at the heavy price. So I lean Braves, maybe live bet the Braves if Texas does take a lead, but it'll be first 5 under, 5.5 for me here. Like I said earlier, live show, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Me, Toast, Prop Beaver, and Kamish go through all 16 games. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or the top bets for any of our staff for NBA, MLB, all sports, they're all posted on KyleKirms.com. If you're interested, there's also a link to join the Discord there on the homepage. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. NBA playoffs starting. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.